Did you ever want to become a shoe? You probably did if you're a fan of feet. And if you're a fan of feet, then I look down on you. Which people who are into feet probably like, since you look down, and when you look down, you normally see feet if you have any. In Gaball Screen for the PlayStation 1, you can now finally fulfill your dream, if you're into it, unlike me who is into normal things. Sadly, you weren't worn by some beautiful lady before, but instead you are a whole new shoe. Just one shoe though, the other shoe has no magical powers. Sucks to be him. It's a walking simulator. Now you might think, oh no, not one of those. I hate them because of games like Gone Home or Amnesia and Machine for Pigs. Isn't it weird how in most games pigs are evil? I really wish someone would give me a list of evil pigs in video games. But what would you expect from a game where you play as a shoe? Isn't the walking simulator genre perfect for it? Since shoes are supposed to walk, even if they have lots of other uses. The game only released in Japan, but the good thing is there is no text really, so everyone can enjoy it, even plebs who did not learn it by watching enough anime. The way it works is that the shoe goes into different worlds through the power of the TV and music, because shoes can just do that. There are 7 worlds like how there are 7 world wonders, and you know the newest world wonder? You are a wonder of the world. You can do any world you want. You don't have to play them in order, but since I'm someone that follows the law and order, I picked the first world first, just to end up in France, so I regret picking it first. When you arrive, you might think something is broken, just like how Paris breaks the heart of people who visit it since they expect it to be beautiful, but it just isn't really. It's a real thing. Because the music also sounds like this. So at first you just walk around, not knowing what to do before you realize, just click X on anything that catches your interest and then something happens. And sometimes something so cool happens that it drops a CD, and with every CD you pick up it brings back an instrument to the world. So it's a bit like an old education game where you go around and press onto anything to make something funny happen. When you got all the CDs you needed, you can just go on and move to the next stage in that world if you think you saw everything. Going from Paris to Mexico is quite a big jump, but you know what else is big? These boobs on that cactus, goddamn, they even got jiggly physics on it. I wish cacti in real life would be like this, because I'm gonna be honest, those little needles wouldn't hold me back from dating one, even if it's 1,000 needles. Just be careful, because if you're being too mean to a cactus lady, a big UFO can come crash onto you. You don't want that to happen, right? What comes after Mexico? India, of course. If someone told me that the frogs over there can play instruments, I would actually move over there. Imagine the kind of life you could live, sitting around with a whole bunch of frogs to make music with, not caring about anything else in the world. I just really love how the game just has so much style to it. For some people these 3D graphics may be primitive, but to a boomer like me they make me feel fuzzy inside, and it impressed me how high quality it feels at points. Because the game is basically just an advertisement for music. It was made to advertise different artists, since when you gather all the CDs in a world, you unlock a music video for it. And the worlds actually do relate to what happens in the video sometimes. So you went through Paris, Mexico and India to see a happy Japanese lady sing Shubi Duba Dubi Daba while she experiences those different cultures, a payoff that was well worth it. The person behind it was Tetsuya Komuro, the person you also see in the intro cutscene, and he's the most successful music producer in the whole of Japan. I have never heard of him before, but hey, my music knowledge is quite low and I still listen to bands I listened to when I was a teenager, so I'm the worst person to talk to when it comes to music. But I mean, all of that stuff is boring anyways, right? Who cares who made the music if the music is good? So it was never meant to be a traditional video game, just a little experience that makes you think, wow, that's neat. Does it manage to do that? Yes, it does. Maybe it's easy to catch my attention, but every time I went into a new world, I couldn't wait to see what it has in store for me. And because I wanted to see the music video. Sadly, some of the music videos don't really relate to the worlds, and that's a little bit sad. Next, you get a beach episode with all of the things that a good beach episode needs. A dog that can dig a hole for you to find something. You can fish and there's a random chance to fish something ultra super duper rare. This is a lie I made up, so if you decide to try out the game, you will endlessly fish for something that does not exist. Eating watermelon and all that. Actually, no watermelon for you. So far, you might think, okay, you push random objects that look obvious, but sometimes you actually have to look around and try out things that may not look so obvious. You only got a Ferris wheel and a food stall here, so you might think you get a CD from this and then that. 1. For some reason the Gaball burger guy keeps staring at you, from any angle. He follows you with his eyes. Back in the day, someone easily could have written a creepypasta about this. Nowadays, people would make an hour-long video about how it's actually the creepiest game they've ever played and use the word liminal at least 42 times while calling the video about it, "This cute game has a dark secret inside of it." Anyways, the second disc is actually when you press the lights here, since you can unleash the Ferris wheel to create chaos. I think it would have been fun if it fell over onto the burger guy. Sadly, it doesn't. I just want to see dead people, I guess. It just goes back into place without doing anything too cool, like rolling off into the ocean to save you from dolphins because, well, you know what dolphins are known for, right? If you see a dolphin approaching you, run, or swim. They would even fuck a shoe. The second music video you get is also still kinda about what you have just experienced. A clown playing with a Ferris wheel with a guy on a horse galloping around him, and then seeing the band play their song while a black guy dressed as an angel dances around. There's probably a deeper meaning to all of this. Maybe we are the clown who plays the game and plays around, I don't know, I'm a clown, but yeah. Sadly, the next music video has nothing to do with what you do in the actual level. This world for some reason loves to jump scare you, and maybe the developers of Banjo-Kazooie have actually played this game because look at this. Everything has little googly eyes. What's behind those eyes though? Hatred? Love? Nothing at all? Why are they stalking me? My life isn't interesting enough for that. Close your eyes if you're easily scared because this made me pee my pants. There are ghosts that like to dance around. Christmas is around the corner in this world and I hope Santa will bring me some nice presents because I've been nice this year. So far. But then you see the music video and it's a woman just singing in front of the sky or in front of a heart. Nothing from the world is actually in this music video. Lady, I will not be buying your album now because it disappointed me that your music video is just boring. By now you have seen how the game works and I won't show you everything because then it would make the video too long, and also you should have to find some things yourself if you want to play it. It only takes about 90 minutes to basically see everything it has, but you won't regret those 90 minutes. It's not like a football match that you look forward to and then it turns out to be the biggest snooze fest ever. The best game you could compare it to on the same console would be the LSD Dream emulator, but with more of a goal. Walking around fairly early 3D surreal landscapes and just enjoying the views of them, and maybe making up your own stories about them. I made a let's play of LSD back in the day, and when I listened to it again a couple of years ago I thought, what the hell was I talking about? Because I said so many dumb things in those videos. I was young but still. Would love to show some of it, but I did them in German and I don't think many people would understand them. And it would be too embarrassing anyways. It scratches that itch that you sometimes have, hopefully not in a hard to reach spot like on your back. You just want to know what happens when you do this or that. It even tests your brain. Look, can you build this house? Surely you can, right? I thought I could. But it turned out that I did it wrong. Even though I didn't and the game just trolls you to make you feel like a total idiot who can't even build a house for a baby. That is a fake baby. This baby has way too many toys. I wish I would have been that spoiled and didn't just got dropped onto my head all the time. Also, maybe this is something only other young boomers can relate to in this sense, but it makes me think of happier times. The late 90s and early 2000s were a time of hope for me, in a way when I look now back onto them. Sure, you had 9/11 and other messed up stuff happening, but looking at these music videos just has that special feel to them. They feel so innocent and happy, making you feel nostalgic to these times. Or it could just be me being really drawn towards the Y2K style because I grew up during that time and it reminds me of the more carefree times. Yep, I'm sorry for sounding like a boomer, but sometimes you have to do a little boomer rant. Some of my favorite things I found in the game was the skeleton of Shenlong. I don't even know what I would wish for if I would find all Dragon Balls. Maybe for this baby dino not to look so creepy, not even his own mom could love him, probably. And that's quite sad. Or this fight between two robots where you pick different cans to make your robot do crazy things. Or also not so crazy things. And this dog also shows up a lot, so I'm pretty sure one of the creators of the game probably owned this kind of dog, a cute Dalmatiner. I said it the German way because I can't pronounce the English way for some reason. Then you even get to see a whole bunch of them doing a little race. Sadly not 101 of them. Maybe it's a good thing so a certain company can't sue. Could they do that if you adopted that many of those dogs in real life? They would probably try. Is there anything worse than Disney and Disney adults? But I guess you could say this about any company and any fans who are in love with their favorite company. Luckily, it's not possible for me to love, except my love for anime girls. Maybe I'm just easily charmed, but I can easily recommend this to anyone who watched this video so far and thought, yep, I gotta try it. How could you hate a game that has a level like this where it feels you're a little human living in a big world? I love playing Counter-Strike 1.6 on these kind of maps. And one of my favorite games is Chibi Robo. They even got the perfect cat chair in the corner in the kitchen here. Poor gingerbread man though. Why did only one get eaten? Why pick him? Why not all of them? I would have eaten all of them. I'm not fat, I'm just hungry right now. But before I leave, I have 3 deep lore facts about me that have something to do with shoes to round out the video, so here I go. I worked in a shoe store for 3 weeks because of school. Here in Germany, you need to find a place to work at for 3 weeks to gain experience and write about it. I think this exists in any country, probably. I actually had gotten a yes from a computer store, but then like a week before it started, we had to get another thing signed, so I went there and they closed down. The store was just gone. I quickly had to find something else and just pick the shoe store around the corner, because at least I wouldn't have to walk far to it. It went pretty okay. Secondly, my username comes from the shoe brand Vans. Now you might think, no shit, but I actually had people ask me what it means and where it comes from, and I'm always perplexed by it. Maybe the company isn't that well known, even though it is. Back in the day, when I bought my first pair of Vans, I just had to resolve my whole life around them, because I was in my emo phase, okay, don't judge me. And these kind of shoes were like a status symbol. You could have bought these cheap wannabe Vans for 10 bucks, or an original pair for 50 bucks. It was actually the first time in my life I actually cared about getting shoes from a big brand. So basically, in simple terms, I loved Vans, and I just added one of the main pronouns for he in German to it, er. Vans, er. Look at these poor boys, they went through hell and back. No, I don't wear them anymore. Normal people would have thrown them into the trash, but to me they have this sentimental value. I'm not a hoarder, okay? The third thing is, I have small feet and wear a size 40 or 41. It depends on the shoe with how tight they are. And as a little bonus, I can say that I owned these cool Digimon shoes and it made me the coolest kid in elementary school. The last part of it is a lie. I wasn't that cool. That's all the information I can give you today about me. Thanks for listening to my audio blog or video blog or blog. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video and will have a good day, a good night or whatever fits your time zone, and maybe feel inspired to buy new shoes. Or listen to some new music, maybe some Japanese music. Broaden your horizons, just like how this game tried to. If you would have been able to play it as a Western person. Bye bye.